White man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before Louis Farrakhan, aka Louis X, aka Eugene Walcott, became known as a cheerleader for the assassination of Malcolm X and a Scientology booster and a general all-around weirdo, he was actually a pretty damn good singer. This piece, recorded in 1961 during the height of the Nation of Islam movement, describes how the misery of black people and colonized people worldwide is directly tied to the luxury and abundance that colonizers and their lackeys enjoy here in the global north, meaning the United States, Canada, Europe, and other settler colonies derived from Europe. Why do we have so many nice things here in this country while people who look like us in the Congo, Rwanda, and Nigeria have so little, despite being rich in resources and manpower? The answer is simple. American and European imperialist hegemony, forced underdevelopment, and direct theft of resources. Simply put, these countries don't have shit because America and our buddies in Europe will not allow them to have shit. Furthermore, imperialism has taken on a multicultural character, a multiracial, multi-ethnic character in the United States since 1961, when Louis Farrakhan recorded this song. Now we have had a black president who helped destroy Libya, a black secretary of defense, a black secretary of state, and several dozen black congressional representatives, mayors, administration officials, police chiefs, etc. What has changed? Has your life gotten better? Have our lives gotten better? Have our people quit getting murdered and lynched in the streets? Have our people stopped dropping dead because of xylazine and fentanyl and all these other chemicals that we poison ourselves to death with? Have our neighborhoods improved? Have our schools improved? The answer, if you've been paying attention and haven't swallowed the liberal Kool-Aid wholesale, is a resounding no. Why haven't our lives gotten better with all our skin folk in high places? Because, as our elders have always said, not all skin folk are kinfolk. Simply because someone looks like us and shares a common background doesn't mean that they have the best interests of ourselves and our comrades abroad at heart. Going back to the days on the plantation and even going all the way back to Africa, certain of our people have sought individual wealth and prestige for themselves, going against all communal values and decency and doing evil things alongside the colonizers to better their own position and that of their close family. These are called compradors, but the hood knows them as sellouts. Imperialism is what we Maoists call the primary contradiction, the primary issue in the world today. Everything revolves around the fact that the majority of people in the world suffer so that those of us in the imperial core can get a new iPhone every couple years, drive everywhere, and generally live like lords of old, even if we ourselves are working class. Meantime, those who make both our lives and the lives of countless billions around the world shitty, those who are responsible for the conditions that have led to 2 major hurricanes striking this country in the past 2 weeks, those who are responsible for the giant chlorine plant fire that devastated Black Atlanta last week, those who will flood into Appalachia, Florida, and Georgia looking to buy up your Meemaw and your Peepaw's land for cheap, those who evict you, those who cut your wages, those are the people who benefit the most from imperialism. Those are our enemies, and some of them are even black, like us. Their heaven is our hell. So when we vote or participate in politics in this imperial core, we need to center the necessity of opposing imperialism in our analysis and in our choices. Opposing imperialism is essential for actualizing the national liberation of black people and other colonized people in the United States, because Maoism teaches us that all things are interconnected and there can be no question of severing one part of the oppressed world from the rest. Either we all get free or we all die and nobody gets free. That's simply how it is. So what are the facts? Neither Kamala Harris nor Donald Trump will save us. I find it extremely hilarious how liberals and liberals who call themselves socialists accuse us communists of practicing cults of personality and hero worship, and then go right on to worship the latest milquetoast, whack-ass fascist that the Democrats spit out. Many of them even offer themselves up as slave labor to get this or that fascist elected under the auspices of doing something and making it easier to organize. For example, the genocidal Biden is often lauded by our liberal friends for his progressive National Labor Relations Board, NLRB, a manifestation of what we communists call economism. Economism is the idea and the practice that the struggle for higher wages for workers is the sum total of the revolutionary movement that matters. Everything else to our economists is LARPing, ultra-leftism, or whatever other ism justifies us being at the mercy of union bureaucrats and Democratic Party strategists who seem to be unable to strategize anything except how to lose. To the communist, the labor movement is nothing more than a lobbying group if it does not tie in its struggles to those of the most oppressed. Higher wages and better packages for workers in the imperial core are not worth a damn if our people in the global south go hungry. This, of course, is not a case or argument for the tendency known by many as third worldism, which at its worst is simply preaching and noise, and at its best is simply an excuse to sit on our comfortable, well-fed asses and do nothing. What I am arguing is that we must take a worldwide perspective. The argument that those of us for whom genocide is a red line wish to see another Donald Trump presidency is almost so ridiculous as to not deserve treatment, but I'll treat it anyways. No leftist supports Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a fascist. He is an all-around reactionary figure. Our argument is that Kamala Harris, from the perspective of the people who matter, from the people that we claim to care about, from their perspective, our Palestinian, Latin American, and African comrades in arms, to them, Kamala Harris is fundamentally going to have the same result on their well-being as Donald Trump. Which puppet of the ruling class sits in the White House is not important. You, the communist, must not take sides in inter-imperialist and inter-bourgeois struggles. Rather, we must unite the advanced elements of the working class, those who are already sick to death of this system, and lay the foundations for the formation of a real workers' party capable of serving the people, making revolution, and ultimately saving humanity and our planet. This is done by continuing to use these bourgeois farces, phony elections, and dog and pony shows as lessons. And we must guide the people to draw communist conclusions. If you must vote, vote your conscience. I am voting for Jill Stein this November. If I'm going to vote for somebody, I prefer that they've been arrested for standing up for what's right. This has been your Voter's Guide with Black Red Guard. All power to the people. And remember, it is within you to make the revolution.